Welcome back to my series about ON1 Photo Raw 2019. Today we are going to make a video about my top 5 used filters inside of ON1 Photo Raw 2019. So let's just get started. We are going to add filter and we are going to color enhancer. As I've said in previous videos, the color enhancer is a really excellent tool because not only do you have the hue, saturation and luminance, or brightness if you want to call it that, you also have the global temperature, you can set a global tint, you can set the global saturation and a global vibrance, or you can paint in the color enhancer as a mask and you can set the temperature and everything for that specific mask. So that's the reason why I always use the color enhancer instead of the color adjustment. So let's just do a quick edit here. Let's see if there is any reds in the horizon. There is. Okay, so let's do some work on that red. Increase the saturation, maybe go down on the brightness, even more on the saturation. Let's go a bit up to the orange in the reds. Down with the brightness. Let's see the before and after. So this is before, this is the after. So there's not a huge difference, but you can see it. So I'm going down even more on the brightness and up on the saturation. Going to orange, I'm going to go into a darker tone for the orange. That's too much. We are almost into the reds here. So let's go up and just slightly down. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go down on the brightness. Yeah, even more, and up on the saturation. That's too much. Back down. Let's go slowly to around here, I think. Down some on the brightness. Yeah, that's a little bit too much, but around there somewhere. Let's go into the yellows. We are going to move the yellows. No, we are not going to move the yellows. I'm just going to apply some saturation. That's too much. Let's go down on the brightness. Still too much saturation. Up on the brightness again. I don't want to create that crazy golden effect. I don't like that effect, so that's why I'm usually I don't touch the yellows too much, but we can try and move the yellows over to the orange. So yeah, that kind of works, but we need to reset the brightness and actually go up, I think. Up some more. So yeah, somewhere around here. Go down on the saturation as well. Actually go into the negatives. Yeah, that's it. So let's go into the greens. There isn't any green to worry about here, so we're gonna go to the aquas. There are some aqua over here, I guess. So let's go down on the brightness and see where it is. Yeah, aquas on top here, some in the water here. So let's reset the brightness, go maybe down just a little bit and move up on the saturation. If we want to, we can actually go into the blues and create a more darker blue tone, but there are already a lot of blues in this image, so I'm not going to do that. And let's see the saturation. Yeah, it's going down. And maybe even up on the brightness. Go into the blues, and we're gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go up on the saturation actually. Yeah, maybe just a little bit on the sky here. And down on the brightness. No, I think I'll rather go and do the brightness in the tone enhancer. So that was the color enhancer. We're gonna go into the glow dynamic contrast first. Let's do it in a particular order. So the dynamic contrast really sharpens up this image. I'm gonna paint it in instead. I don't want it all over the image. So into the mask, click on invert and just painting. So go to mode, paint in. I'm going for, whoops, that's a bit too big a brush. Going into the sky, I'm actually gonna paint it in there. I usually don't do that. I usually like a more soft sky, but yeah, we're gonna try and do it on the sky here. Let's paint it in on the rocks over here. So my opacity is 30, so it could actually have been a bit more, 60. And just painting in. And that's the general idea behind this contrast filter. Yeah, I need to use my other mouse because this is totally crazy. That's better. And just paint it in. Yeah, I'm not going to be really particular about it. We are going for speed this time for once. And that's the dynamic contrast. Let's look at the before and after. Look at the sky or down here on the rocks. So this is the before and that's the after. So it's not the biggest difference yet. We can actually go up on the smalls, the medium, and even the large to create even more texture. And let's go back and see the before again. So this is the before. As you can see, it's a lot softer, and this is the after. Nice. Okay, that's dynamic contrast. Let's go in and do the glow. So the glow isn't enabled. The amount is on 0, so just move up the amount slider and you see the effect of the glow filter. Yeah, we're gonna go into normal. And I'm actually going just a tad up on the halo and even more on the amount to around here. Then I'm going down on the opacity. This is the before and this is the after. So if you know the Orton effect that's so popular on Instagram, the glow is basically the same. It's kind of blurring your picture, and I normally like that a lot, but in this case it's doing too much stuff with my image, so I would actually go into the mask and I would paint out the glow from the rocks over here. So let's go up to mode and select paint out. So just paint away the mask on the textures you want to enhance. So this rock, and let's go into this rock and do the same. I would probably actually go and soften this side even more, but I'm gonna just paint out the glow just on the rocks here, just to create more definition. Okay, so that's the glow filter. We can try and go up on the opacity now. So let's look at the before and the after. So this is the before, this is the after. So that is kind of nice. Let's move on. from the glow I usually go over to sharpening, but I also use dynamic contrast to sharpen and structure, so it's not always that I go into sharpening, but we're going to do it for this video. So I'm going into sharpening and I'm going to click on the screen. In my opinion, that is the best sharpening for my kind of landscape photos. Fixed focus is kind of okay as well. But anyway, going into screen, I'm just gonna go down on the opacity. I would maybe soften this part of the image or paint out the sharpening at certain places over here, but this is fine. So how many filters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna add the tone enhancer. So the tone enhancer is enabling us to be able to set the tones more carefully than you would in the develop module. So when I click up on the contrast, it doesn't change too much. But if I would go into the develop module and increase to the same amount, you will see a huge difference. So just going to around 9. So I'm actually going to enable the clipping view. That's enabled. Then we are going to go and maybe push up the whites a little more. Just carefully. So to around here, I think. And let's go down just a little bit on the exposure. Maybe tad on the highlights. Let's set a black point. I'm going down all the way and up. Yeah, up a little bit more to around here. I'm going to increase the shadows, or actually decrease the shadows. Yeah, to around here. This picture is now toned kind of okay. If we want to flat out the tones and make them merge together even better, we could go into the compression and try and increase that. That will basically push all of the higher tones down and the lower tones up. So it's kind of a balancing tool for your picture. So I'm going up pretty high and I'm actually going down from the top. I usually don't do that, but on the compression it happens that I do that. So I'm going down. I'm going to disable the clipping view and I'm going down just a little bit more. And I actually think it's okay. So the before and the after. Yeah, so bit too dark maybe. Just a little bit. And I think the yellow is too saturated, so I could go into the color enhancer and adjust that. So the given filter, this filter is pretty much in all my images, so I'm not counting that. So I'm not counting that filter as the 5th filter or 6th filter. It's just always there. So that's the vignette. And I'll usually go into the big softy and down with the feather so I can actually see how big the vignette is. I'm going to increase the size just a little bit. And I'm actually going to move it a little bit more to the left side, maybe. No, let's go to the right side actually. So yeah, something like this. Up with the feather again, and then I'm going to set the brightness, so just up a little bit, and that's it. Let's go and enable the lens correction, and that's pretty sweet. So this is kind of a quick and easy toning. So this is kind of a quick and easy toning. I'm actually going into a local adjustment, and I'm going down on the saturation, leave the exposure, and I'm going to paint out some of the blues in the water. I don't like it, so I don't want it to be this blue. That's a bit too much. So I'm just painting out the saturation on the blue. I could do this in a color adjustment or color enhancer. That would be a bit easier, but this is okay as well. So we always want to go for realistic tones, not the HDR tones. And I'm actually going to do the horizon as well. I think that looked pretty terrible. It's too saturated. Yeah, that's it. Um, then we go up, see if that's okay. And that's actually pretty nice. So that's this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to buy ON1 Photo Raw 2019, you can do so by clicking on the link in my description. This will give you 10% off, so that's really nice. If you like this video, please click on that thumbs up button. If you want to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button. If you dislike this video, please click on the dislike button, and please take the time to give a comment about what you didn't like. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again.